Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Topeak Fezā Tubular Carbon R10 bottle cage. Water bottle cages are a great way to personalize your bike and drop a few grams at the same time. Topeak's new Fezā cage series offers lightweight tubular carbon construction for road cycling, gravel cycling, and even mountain biking. In this review, we'll be looking at the road cycling R10 variation, which has this nice matte natural carbon fiber finish. You can see packaging is very nice and premium. It's almost like a poster cardboard container with a cylindrical tube. Nice graphics on here, so it's all black. Fezā printed on here with this nice image, and even a carbon fiber print on the label on top. So a really nice design, and it keeps the bottle cage really nice and safe. We'll go ahead and open this up and go over the specs. Retail price on this is $72.95, so definitely on the expensive end for a water bottle cage. It has tubular carbon construction, so really strong, stiff, and lightweight. It's carbon fiber composite, depending on which one you choose. They have Kevlar variations with color, or just the natural carbon fiber version we have here. They include aluminum Torx bolts and even a Torx wrench to install it, which is really nice of them. And you have an optional Fezā Bottle Glide that's included. So this is just a little piece that sits between the two bolt holes and provides a nice flat surface where you can slide the bottle in. You also have optimized geometry, so with this R10, it's a road cycling variation, which is dictated by the R. So you can see the curvature on here, it's more uniform in the center to hold the bottle, while the other ones have different shapes. They also have an R10S in Europe, which is really similar, but the bolt holes are just shifted downward. In terms of what comes with this, you get the Fezā Bottle Glide, which again is this little plastic piece that sits between the bolt holes. You get the instruction manual, a little Torx bit here to install it, and you even get the aluminum bolts, which have this nice flat face, which will look really good on your bike. So you can see it has a little curvature here, so it sits flat and flush with your bike. Now let's take a look at the weight of the bottle cage. So the bottle cage and the two aluminum bolts, that comes in at 10 grams, which actually matches the claimed weight. So this is called the R10 because it is 10 grams. You can also include the bottle glide, which I highly recommend. It's a little plastic piece. Unless you're a weight weenie, it's a nice thing to include on your bike. That comes in at 12 grams, so additional 2 grams. The Fezā water bottle cage combines the classic minimalist design of an aluminum bottle cage with a modern carbon fiber tubular construction. That means these cages are not only lightweight, but extremely stiff and far more durable than their aluminum equivalent. So if this was an aluminum cage, you could easily stretch it out and adjust the size. With this, very stiff. And you can see it holds its form very well while being very lightweight. You also have this beautiful matte carbon fiber finish. So it's a natural finish, so there are a few imperfections here and there. It doesn't look quite as good as the website, but still an attractive look. Now Topeak offers this in 3 variations. The Road series, which is designated by the R, this being the R10. They have a G series and then the M series. Each of them just have a slightly different design, with the mountain biking one just having a little bit more coverage, but they all look really good, so I would just pick the one that you prefer. They all have very nice grip, so your bottle really won't go anywhere. There also is an R10S variation in Europe that Topeak offers, which is essentially this cage, but slightly different shape, with the bolt holes spaced a little more downward. Now with this bottle cage, you can see 2 hoops on each side. They go down to the bolt holes, which actually have this little curvature in there, so the bolts sit nice and flush. So a really nice design. And this is again the matte finish, but they offer color variations that combine carbon fiber with Kevlar weaved inside it, so you can get red or blue ones, which also look really cool, at least in the product photos. You don't have a little tab on the front, which you normally see that would match the ring on your water bottle cage. Instead, you just have the hoops and then this little perpendicular section that holds the bottle in place and prevents it from flying all the way out. And again, very grippy, especially compared to standard bottle cages. Here you can see the cages installed on our specialized tarmac. It's a pretty attractive cage with a minimalist design, so there's not a lot of material. You'll notice that little lip is missing. The tab that you normally see with a water bottle cage, that would correspond to the ring on the water bottle. Even without that, you can see it's very grippy. Here's the polar breakaway bottles, and the combination of that rubberized texture on there and the soft textured finish on the cages, I mean, it really doesn't move. They're very stiff in all directions when you install them, so it's pretty impressive. The only downside is you can see the cages do sit fairly low, so if you have a swap box or other accessories, it may interfere with that, and you might need to get an aftermarket mount to shift it upward, or look at the other variations of the Fezā bottles. So here you can see a little bit of riding footage, and the water bottle really doesn't go anywhere. You do have to sort of remodulate yourself to the force that it requires. So when you insert it and remove it, you kind of have to yank it out. But after a few rides, you get used to it. And the upside of that is you can see the bottle really doesn't move anywhere. It doesn't rattle. You don't have to worry about a bottle flying off, even if you go over potholes or do fast sweeping roads. So it's very secure. Now let's compare the Fezā with other water bottle cages on the market. Here we have the Topeak Shuttlecage. This is a XE3K carbon version, so similarly expensive, matte, natural carbon fiber finish on the inside. And what's interesting about this is you can see how much more flexible it is. So up and down, side to side, it feels more like an aluminum cage with this flat construction. While the Fezā's tubular construction is super stiff in all directions, so barely have any play up and down and in and out. Just enough to really get the bottle in there. What's interesting though is that the other cage looks more fancy versus the Fezā. The Fezā almost looks like an aluminum cage with a carbon fiber finish. So definitely interesting that we've gone back to a traditional style. And you can also see putting these side to side, it does place it a little bit lower versus traditional cages. That's why the R10S in Europe exists, which moves this downward, which will help you kind of get more space. You'll also notice that the Fezā is missing the traditional little lip right on the front. This matches the ring in a water bottle cage that helps it hold in place. But because the Fezā is so stiff, you really don't need it, as it really holds your bottle in place even if you hit potholes or do off-roading or gravel riding. Now if you have a smaller frame, you may want to consider the side entry bottle cages. This is the Topeak Ninja SK. So you can see it's a left-hand side in this configuration, so it's open. You can put your bottle in sideways, and that's great for smaller frames. What's cool about the Ninja, even though it's just a plastic construction, is they have a swappable bottom piece. So instead of having it permanently attached, like you have with the Fezā and other cages, you can just pull it out, and then you have a right side entry, left side entry, and you can attach tools to this, so multi-tool or other accessories. So a great way to combine multiple accessories, but again, a lot heavier and doesn't really have the tenacious grip that the Fezā has. Elite also has the carbon fiber Prism variation of the side entry bottle cage. So it's a one-sided, nice matte finish. Feels fairly light, but you can see quite a bit more material here, while the Fezā just has a minimalist two-hoop design. So definitely a different look and much more minimal. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Fezā R10 water bottle cage. What we like about it is they have a feather-light design. At only 10 grams without the Bottle Glide, it is very lightweight. You also have that minimalist construction and natural finish, which looks really good, and it has very impressive grip on the bottles. So the downsides of this bottle cage is the fact that you do have a premium price. It's pretty pricey at $72. And again, removing the bottle requires a little bit of extra force because it is very grippy. Taking everything into account would give the Fezā R10 an 8.6 out of 10. It's a minimalist carbon cage that helps you drop a few grams on your bike. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.